Greetings, groovy people! Welcome to Blue Dragon's art channel. This week is the monthly Q&A that I host for my $10 patrons or higher, and of course for the readers of my free Not Safe for Work webcomic, Dark Horse. I have decided that this year I'm going to try something different. I'm going to have the monthly Q&A at the end of the month, the last Wednesday of every month, so that I have it kind of scheduled regularly. Just a little shopkeep there, some information for you. We're going to jump right into this after I make a quick correction to last week's video. Shazia Sikandar is from Pakistan in the Indian subcontinent, and thus not the Middle East, but rather Asia. I hadn't really looked her up since college, and when I was talking about her when I recorded, I said that she was from the Middle East, but that was a misnomer. It was incorrect. I looked up her biography after I recorded, and I just based that on a wrong assumption. Since a lot of her art is Islamic inspired, she started with like miniatures, and she has a lot of kind of a combination of both what looks like Indian art as well as Islamic thing, because not every Indian is necessarily Hindu, but at any rate, that was a misnomer and a wrong assumption on my part, so I do apologize for that mistake. I made the correction in the description of last week's video, and I also made sure to put an iCard where she is doing a discussion talking about her influences and some of her art. So if you are interested in that, I highly suggest you go and watch last week's video and actually hear her talk about her art in her own words and don't just take it from me. So now we're going to go ahead and get into this adult only, although I'm not really going to be dirty in it or anything, but adult only video answering questions that, you guys had for me. I'm going to section this off. I had some people just asking some random stuff, which is cool. And then I'm going to have Dark Horse questions at the end of the video. Some of these I'm just going to kind of be firing through. It won't take very long to answer them. So, first question. How long does it take to make a page? It varies depending on the page. If it's a single splash page that doesn't have too much detail, is primarily character focused, then that can take me anywhere from 15 to 20 minutes to sketch. Then I do the inking, and that usually would only, if it's like I said, less detail, it would take about maybe 10 minutes to ink. And then it would probably take around 15 to 20 minutes to screen tone. If there's a lot of detail in the page, there's a couple different panels. Generally speaking, when I work on a page, the sketch takes anywhere from 30 to 45 minutes to sometimes it might take me an hour. If I'm going to do a lot of detail, sometimes I'll do the detail in pencil first and then ink, just so that I know where things are going to go whenever I'm inking. And then if it's a highly detailed regular page that I'm inking, that usually takes about maybe 20 minutes if it's just a lot of panels without a lot of detail. But if it's got a lot of detail, sometimes I have to let it dry, and so that might take an hour or more if there's a lot of detail in the back, which is what I've been doing lately because I'm trying to get better and make things look more detailed. And then the screen tone, if I do a lot of inking, then I don't have to do as much screen toning usually, so that'll usually take a lot less time if it's heavy on the ink. If it's not heavy on the ink, and there's a lot of small details, then that could maybe take me about 45 minutes to screen tone. All I'm doing is like cutting out different sections that I've inked off, but it takes longer than you'd think. I usually have everything time-lapsed in these videos so that it looks a hell of a lot quicker than it is. If I'm coloring it, it usually also will take about an hour, depending on how much detail there is, and how much shadow and, tints and shades that I put in their value. Next question. Did you decide if you liked your new ink? The Sumi Ink Black 60. Okay, because I was using the regular Sumi ink and advertising it as vegan, which it was not. Yeah, I'm a dumbass. Anyway, no, the new ink that I use is vegan. Not that anybody cares. If you do care, It's the black ink 60, but I like it okay. It's manufactured, so it's more man-made, and they say that if you're just, if you're not like professional level, that it's really good for you and it's quick drying. And to be quite honest, the quick drying works well for me. Aside from no longer being scented with sandalwood or patchouli or whatever the hell they put in there, I kind of miss the scent that they add to the other one. But that's so superfluous, it doesn't even matter. It doesn't smell bad either, so functionality wise, that's the word of Wednesday, functionality. I don't even know if it's a word. It is now because I'm too fucking lazy to go and look it up. But I like it. It dries quicker than the other stuff. Although, if I'm not gonna lie, I don't really notice that much of a difference. So I guess it's a good thing. I don't notice a difference. I think I can tell a little bit that it dries quicker, but to me, that doesn't matter. I mean, I'll just throw it. I'll ink, and if I'm doing more details, I'll just throw it in a drawer and work on other pages, and then go back to it the next day. So I mean, it's nice that it dries faster, but I mean, I'll do pages. It takes me a little while. Like, it might take me a couple days to actually get a page done because I'm not working on every single thing right in a row, bang bang bang. I'm doing a couple pages sketching, and then I'm inking a couple pages, and then I'm scanning them in a couple days later when it's dry. But yeah, I like it. I would 100% suggest it. And the picture in the background that I think I've already inked. I ink it and I color it with Copics markers. That's the Sumi Ink 60 Black that is man-made, that is synthetic, and it works perfectly fine with Copics. So I didn't see any difference, if that answers the question. Next question. Did you do anything for New Year's? No. I mean, kind of. I might have talked about this. I don't even remember what I talk about half the time because I just babble. We stayed in. I made meatless meatballs with like some Stubbs barbecue sauce and shitty grape jelly, like generic shitty grape jelly, and cookies. What? Stubbs is fantastic. I don't know if I'll be leaving that in. Maybe I will. I don't know. It is up to me. Thanks for giving me permission. I don't think anyone can hear you. This is gonna sound like a one-sided conversation. Yeah. And I baked some cookies, and my partner made bread, and we watched movies, I think? Juno? Oh, we watched JoJo. We watched JoJo for New Year's. It was awesome. Next question. Who's your favorite manga author? I actually have a couple. Actually, I have more than a couple. First and foremost, my absolute favorite, because Full Metal Alchemist is just my favorite manga series. Well, that and Rigveda. Okay, Full Metal Alchemist, I think I like better than Rigveda, even though Rigveda is one of my favorites. There's just so much going on in Arakawa's work. She's fucking amazing. I know people are kind of forgetting about Full Metal Alchemist now, but it's a classic. It's amazing. Go read it. My other favorites are Clamp. There's more than one of them, and there were 4, but no, I think there's 3. I don't even know what's going on with them now, but Clamp, that's my other favorite manga author. Comic author, who's your favorite? I don't read a lot of Western comics, but I would have to say, and he's not even a traditional comic author, but Neil Gaiman. I loved the Sandman series. I need to reread it. I would love to have a copy of that at some point. I checked mine out from the library, and that's something I would like to own. And I also like Alan Moore, because I liked The Watchmen, and I liked V for Vendetta. I don't know, those are my favorites. I don't have a reason. I don't like superhero comics very well. Sorry. I know a lot about them because I watch like comic tropes and I want to keep in the know so I can have a conversation, but I don't care about men in tights unless it's Robin Hood. So, actually, Robin Hood or Tim Curry. Yeah, I'll look at Tim Curry in tights any day. Wow, we went from talking about Neil Gaiman to talking about men in tights. Okay. That's where my mind goes. Do you prefer inking, screen toning, or sketching? What's your favorite part of the process? Screen toning is definitely out the window. That's my least favorite part. I don't even do screen toning like the real way. I just have layers of screen tone underneath and select and delete. So I don't even know if that's considered screen toning. That's what I call screen toning. So it's definitely between inking and sketching. I don't know, it really depends. I think I like the sketching process the best. I tend to like my sketches better, and I think that's why I'm working on my inking this year, because I'm not very happy with how I ink. I do like to ink, though. Sometimes it can be very therapeutic. So I think it just depends on my mood, but I honestly, I think sketching's my favorite part. Unless there's a page I don't want to sketch, in which case I'm dragging my feet, and then the inking becomes my favorite part because I've already done the hard part. So I guess it just depends. Are you going to any conventions in 2021? No, probably not. Even if things start to get more under control with COVID, I don't have my shit together. I mean, like, I have stuff, but like, you really have to book stuff in advance, and I would rather play it safe. I was always raised that a pinch of prevention is worth a pound of cure. What the fuck is it? An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. So even if things look good, no. By the end of the year, no. I'm not gonna go to any this year. 2022, maybe. I don't know. We'll have to see how things pan out. Okay, the next questions are Dark Horse related. They're not particularly spoilers, but if you don't want to hear anything about anything going on in ceremony, then skip ahead to the end of the video. I'll put the timestamp in the text, in the floating text. How old is Shimiko? Old as fuck. She's supposed to look like she's around 12, but she is millennia old. I would say she's older. She's probably in the would it be BCs? Well, no, wait. She's not pre-written history. Like, she existed after written history became a thing. But she's old as fuck. I would have to do a bunch of math and find my notes, and I'm awful, so I don't have my notes, but she old. Next. Can Kana change the future? I'm gonna cop out on this one and not answer. I actually need to talk more about, I think I did like a whole video talking about time. I did a whole series talking about time in Dark Horse. I'm not gonna go into that in this video, but we don't know, if she can change the future or not. I don't think she can. We don't know. But we also don't know the future. So that's all I'm gonna say, because I don't want any spoilers. I know the future, but you don't. Is Rina going to die? I'm not gonna tell you that. I'm not gonna answer that question. I know there's a lot of really dark foreshadowing with that character. She's gonna end up like Mista, and it's gonna be like a running gag. I don't know. You'll have to find out. Read the comic. Tune in next week. And then the last question, is Rin as religious as Kana? Rin is non-denominational Christian, and she doesn't particularly think much on, aside from saying she believes in God, she doesn't really read the Bible. They don't go to church. They're just she doesn't think too much about it. She tries to be spiritual, but, she's kind of all over the place and kind of an airhead, so how much of that she actually accomplishes, how much she spends thinking about it. It's not like Kana, who's had religion kind of shoved down her throat her whole life. Not that, that can always be a bad thing, but as those of you reading Ceremony see, her parents are very rigid. She, calls them sir and, mother and father and that they're very conservative in their lifestyle, unlike Rin's parents, who are very laissez-faire and probably should have some tighter reins on their daughter than they do, but, you know, they've got, like, 3 kids, so they don't care. I'm just kidding, that's not true. I'm just saying, they got a lot going on. The oldest is in college, and then the youngest is, like, 5. Like, Ren's got a younger sister, and so her mom pays more attention to that because Rena's getting ready to go into high school, and she's, you know, she should be able to take more care of herself than her younger sister is. Yeah, that is she religious? I mean, a little bit, definitely not like Kana, but Kana's kind of having a crisis of faith, so, or she will be. She's been having it, but it's not quite so obvious yet because I've only been dropping hints about shit she's been dealing with, but it's gonna be more important to her later on in the series. You'll see more of that, so. Thanks for tuning in. I don't really have a good question of the week. Question of the week. What question do you want to answer? Tell me down in the comments below and then answer it, please. I can't answer the question because I don't know what it is, but I'll answer them if you have them. If you like what I do and you feel like supporting the channel or the comic or anything, I've got Ko-fi, I've got Subscribestar, I've got Patreon. All those links are down in the description. If you don't have money that you can dole out, that's perfectly fine. You can like, sub, do the bell thing, or if you're watching this on BritShoot. Is it British? Maybe it is BritShoot. Maybe it should be. It's BitShoot. If you're watching this on BitShoot, I don't know what you can do yet because I'm stupid. I've got too much to do. Do whatever you can do. Comment on the video. Share it. Peer-to-peer share it. I think it's the bullshit thing that they call it there. But yeah, thank you all for watching. Peace and love. Very well. And keep on trucking.